What's up, everyone, and welcome back to some more Oxygen Not Included. Last time we ended up kind of on the edge of destruction, if you will, but I think we pulled it back since then. I did play another 20 cycles in between episodes, and everything kind of balanced out. So our pressure is down over here. Nice, everything's good, and we are generating enough petroleum. As you can see, we've almost got 3 tanks full here. One thing I'm actually considering, I have a second colony that I've been playing kind of in between recordings, kind of when I get an inkling and I want to play but I don't want to record or whatever, then I have a second colony, and I have this exact setup, except for this wall is moved over one, and I have 3 tanks in here, 3 water tanks in here, or liquid tanks, and then I have a polypress where these 2 water liquid tanks are, and it cools the polypress down really well. So I actually want to kind of move this wall over, add a 3rd tank in here. We'll move this pressure atmo sensor up to the top. That'll give us room for another tank, and then one thing I didn't think about is I'm gonna have to move all these tanks. Whatever. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. I don't know. But right now I don't have plastic production. That kind of sucks. But yeah, we have pulled everything back. Our bristle blossoms are growing once again. Let's see. We have a little bit of gristleberries stored up, not tons. I believe I've taken everybody off the barbecue at this point. Yes, everybody's off the barbecue. My immune systems are quite low. Do I not have any medicine? I have medicine. They just haven't taken them. Okay, whatever. So yeah, all that's good to go. We've got a lot of petroleum building up. Another thing I've done is actually change the coolant in my dirt cooker here from oil to polluted water. That's going to give us a little more heat generation in this room. It's going to, hold on. There's something wrong with this dirt cooker here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but it's not producing dirt. I messed around and debugged with it, and I actually added like a filter gate so this valve would stay off, but you can see the water's evaporating, but no dirt is being left behind. We just wait for a second. We can get that to happen. And like, I've got some weird water floating on water, which is, I don't know what's going on, but there's something wrong with this. Not that it matters, because if you've seen my recent dirt cooker video, we're just going to be converting this system into that. In fact, I may as well just do it right now, to be honest. But then I wouldn't have anywhere for my polluted water to go. I mean, we could send it up to here. And okay, yeah. I should probably just discuss everything that's changed before I get into that stuff. But yeah, I've added polluted water here. I also set up the buffer tank here. That way everything flows nicely there. Let's see, what else have I done? So this coolant line I've just tagged the line off it right here to cool all this stuff down, which feeds into the metal refinery, and then it continues on through this to cool down the steam. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop it back up and then over this way, because this is where my oxygen production is going to go. So we'll sieve it out, and then we'll send it into our electrolyzers to make oxygen. That way we can continuously run this cooling loop as well. Not that we really need to, because like when this is dormant, like now, it's not really going to be cooling anything. But I figure I have so much polluted water. Like, look at this. I have 4 liquid tanks full, and then this whole thing is going off. So I have so much polluted water that I can kind of afford to do this. As long as I don't put too much stress on that system and drain it all, you know, then I think I'm completely fine. Another thing I've done is I've fully automated my bristle farm. Well, as automated as it can be, right? My duplicate still have to pick it, but we've set up the conveyor rail to send the bristles all the way up to my storage over here. Let me make sure I actually pull them out of Mechatronics Engineer. Yeah, okay. Not quite ready with the morale there. And one thing I did is I made sure to run the track through tiles, because if your food is going through track in open air, it will actually start to deteriorate a little bit. And if it passes through polluted oxygen, it deteriorates faster and whatnot. So we've only got one little tile here that isn't on either in like a good gas or a tile. Let's see, what else is going on? I'm sure a lot of you have seen the steam turbine changes. We don't need to worry about steam turbine changes with systems that are already set up. Those will not change, so this system is still going to function. So I'm not going to touch that. We'll just leave it how it is. We've rerouted some pipes here. So this coolant line was essentially being backed up, and it wasn't running because all I had it run into was my dirt cooker and my metal forge here, my metal refinery. So unless this was running or this was really hot and, you know, producing dirt or whatever, even though it doesn't, then this line wasn't running. So it was actually getting kind of toasty in here because the water wasn't moving. It was just sitting, being stagnant. So I've set up a system that moves this water and this pump here over to this sieve first, which goes into my bristle farm for cooling and also my oil production here. But and then if this line is backed up, I believe it's connected here. If this line is backed up, then it will go down through the metal refinery here and then, you know, on to other things. And then I also have this second tank here. So if the water is too hot, it will bypass the metal forge, go into this tank, and then go off to the sieve. Because I was getting some water that was too hot. It was breaking the pipe on the metal refinery. So that's everything there. I don't think there's too much else that's been changed. Actually, I think I did a couple things up here, didn't I? We've got some just decor going. Oh yeah, okay. So I've started to build jet suit docks. Now I don't have petroleum running to them or anything, but I want to get a jet suit dock for each duplicate instead of these Atmos suits. One of the recent changes that was made, and I think in the last patch or whatever, is that jet suits, even if a duplicate is in a jet suit, they will still prioritize like ladders and things. That way they're not wasting as much fuel, which is good. So when they come out here, they won't like fly over this ladder and then down this ladder. They'll probably, well, they have the transit tube system, so they wouldn't do that anyway, but you get the idea. They're not going to just fly all over the place. They'll use ladders and things. I haven't really messed with space still. Oh man, I know. The whole point of this was to try and get the rockets as fast as I can, but I figured this out about myself during this series, and that I should probably hit play, huh? I figured this out during this series, and that is that I overbuild systems a lot of the time. Like this, I don't need this right now. I could have just built this and been fine with it, but no, I had to finish it, right? I'm not even like, this is a bunch of wasted time, essentially. I'm not using it, right? And then this system I built kind of down here, and all I really needed to do was move it up and be fine. You know, everything would have been gravy. I wouldn't have had to waste 20 cycles moving it up after the fact. So a lot of these things I should pre-plan and know like exactly what I'm getting myself into before doing it, and exactly how much time I need to spend on it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna end up wasting time. But yeah, I'm still digging out an area for my oxygen production here, and I'm thinking we're probably going to add like 4 electrolyzers, and I'm not really sure how we're gonna do the cooling. I was thinking originally something like this, but I don't know, maybe I still will do it like that. I should plan it out before I start. Well, I was just saying I should plan these things out, and now I'm diving head first, you know? Let's go, whatever, who cares? We'll just build something, make it work. One thing I haven't looked for recently is geysers. Oh, we actually almost got this guy like fully dug out too, so we'll be able to turn this into some kind of petroleum factory or natural gas factory or whatever we want, really. We'll be able to do that relatively soon. I'm not sure how much room I'm going to need, so I've just kind of been just digging big clumps of it out. So I didn't measure it or anything, but yeah, what I'm going to do is just make this like giant box, or however big it needs to be, and we'll put a liquid seal on it, and then I'll just vacuum out the entire room, and then I can start building within the vacuum. Oh yeah, one other thing I've done is set up a liquid seal here, and a gas pump. Although I had it disabled because the geyser was active at that point and I was pumping steam out. I didn't want to do that, so go ahead and re-enable that so we can vacuum this out. I'm trying to avoid another issue of overpressurization where the steam vent just gets too much and overpressurizes because it duplicates the gas or whatever. So we don't want that happening, so we're going to go vacuum this out, and then we will delete the pump, sweep everything up, and then close it off. What else do we have going on? What is wrong with this? Liquid vent overpressurized. I mean, not that this system really matters anymore, but you can see that we're overpressurized. So perhaps that's what's going on. We're actually deleting the steam. So I wonder if the water is actually getting deleted in transition to steam and it's deleting the dirt along with it. But yeah, so let's pump this area out so the water can get to flow in a little bit more. Not that it matters. Again, I should focus on shutting the system down and creating the actual dirt cooker that I'm going to need using slime. But are we still overpressurized? Let's just pump it all out. Oh crap. You know what? I just realized that we're pumping the steam out here. Okay. Let's wait for this to get vacuumed out before we actually, is it even, I don't think it was even making it over there. It was getting cooled down before it could get there, but let's go ahead and vacuum it out anyway. Holy cow, we're back up to like 4 kilograms. Where is all this carbon dioxide coming from, man? One carbon skimmer is not enough. I mean, these things can still run, right? The petroleum generators can still run. That doesn't matter. The problem is I can't create petroleum. So the petroleum I'm using, I can't recreate right now. We need a second carbon skimmer, and quick. Oh man, what did I do? What have I done? All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deconstruct this liquid pump, just delaying my oxygen production even more. We're gonna deconstruct all this. We're gonna move this wall over more, which means we need a mesh tile here instead of here. And instead of a third tank, we're gonna add a second carbon skimmer. Like that's just gonna have to be what it is. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna put 2 temporary tanks right here, and then we'll drain into those like that. There we go. And then once I get everything settled in here, I can just pump it back up into the tanks. Kind of annoying, but gotta do what you gotta do, right? You know what I'm gonna do as well is I'm gonna shut this off. I don't want the aqua tuner running while all this stuff is kind of balancing itself out. It's going to be a little kind of in a fragile state while everything's transferring over. It should be stable, but just in case. How are we doing over here? Still emptying into these very slowly. I kind of set this up a little donkey, but it'll work. It's just going a little slower. Yes, I said donkey. I use donkey that way. Don't hate. You wanna? I know you wanna try it. Go ahead. Nobody's listening. Use donkey. Anyway, oh, oxygen. Let's see. I was gonna plan this out, and then something over here happened. Oh, we actually need to kind of focus on this carbon dioxide issue. I think more than anything. This is sort of the biggest problem I have right now because it's kind of the same issue I had last episode. Just overpressurizing is gonna stop my power production. Now it's much less of a problem now because the system is actually functioning properly. Whereas before I had this atmo sensor turned off or on the wrong setting, so carbon skimmer wasn't even running. But now I'm just generating too much carbon dioxide for one skimmer to handle. So we need to set up a second skimmer here. This is all good, all swept out. All right, let's go ahead and close it off. Got our nice little vacuum in here. Did I not turn this on? There we go, start pumping out. Filter out the polluted oxygen, pump the steam into here. Nice. You know what, we're actually getting a little bit too much water. It's raining! I actually love this. I probably never mentioned this, but I love this. I love how there's an animation of it like raining down as it turns into water. It's so cool. It's so awesome. You know what? Oxygen Not Included is just an awesome game. I mean, come on. That's why we all play it and love it. Because it's just awesome. I was going to say I should plant a little bit of sleet wheat. I do have 61 tons of dirt, but that can go very, very quickly. Each sleet wheat plant will use 20 kilograms per cycle of dirt. And I'm not really training any astronauts yet, which I should be. Don't get me wrong. Wait. 5 kilograms? I had it backwards. It uses 20 kilograms of water and only 5 kilograms of dirt. Oh! That means I got a lot wrong in my dirt cooker video. I was assuming it was 20 kilograms of dirt. Man. Well, that's going to have to be corrected. So that means the dirt cooker can actually support a lot more than that. It can support almost quadruple the amount of sleet wheats. Woohoo, buddy. I'm excited now. I'm even more pumped. I'm glad I figured that out, but I'm sad that the video's up and I have misinformation in there. That's kind of sad. So we're going to move the tanks over by 1 here. And like that. And that. And then make sure we connect there. What is this tank for? Oh yeah, we're getting rid of that tank, so we don't need this pipe here. So we're gonna add a poly press right there, and it's going to work wonders. All right, another carbon skimmer made out of gold, very important. Wow, look at all that steam. Holy sh! No wonder it's overpressurized, dude. So we're just gonna make sure that it pumps until the pressure is high enough to where the slime won't off gas, or the polluted water won't off gas. What mess do I have going on here? Okay, this into this, into this, and then this into that. Perfect. Now I just need to prioritize this pipe, and everything will be good. We'll be back up and running in no time. Okay, we got our second carbon skimmer. Everything's connected, although we don't have it connected to automation. So maybe we should just do this for good measure. We're not going to connect it yet. I want to get the setting set before I connect it. That way I don't forget about it and have another mishap with overpressurization, even though we're good right now. And maybe I don't need the second carbon skimmer. Maybe I don't actually need it, but you know what? I'm only going to connect the second carbon skimmer to automation. And like maybe we'll set up a second Atmos sensor over here later, but basically only if the pressure is above a certain point will the second carbon skimmer run. Let's see, 1,346,000 grams. So if it's above 3,400 grams, then that guy will kick on. Maybe we should set it lower, honestly, like 2,700. So yeah, only the second carbon skimmer will only kick on if the pressure goes above 2,700 grams. That way we have double carbon skimmers. We shouldn't ever have that issue ever again. Okay, oxygen production. Focus, Juke, focus. Did I set up all this correctly? Just want to make sure everything's good. All right. Yes, everything is good. We can delete all this piping now. We can deconstruct these liquid reservoirs. So I'm wondering what was actually happening here before. I guess the steam was, there was just so much steam pressure that any water dripped in or any water evaporating from the heat was instantly getting deleted and the dirt was getting taken along with it. So that's pretty interesting. I've never had that happen before. Take it. All right, oxygen production. Think. Okay, cooling. How do we want to do it? Well, I'm thinking we just run this cooling loop over here. I would like passive cooling. If I'm gonna be honest about what I would like this system to be, I would like it to have passive cooling, but it's gonna be quicker to set up if I put this guy here. And also it's gonna allow me to dump more energy into this polluted water, which means the aqua tuner is gonna be able to run more, generate more heat for the dirt cooker. Really, I should only send water over there if it's below a certain temperature, but we can put that temperature check anywhere. We can put it over here if we want. But yeah, let's say we're gonna come up to this tile here, run over this way, boom, bridge over, bridge down, and then, so we'll just say door here, obviously, and then the question I'm thinking is how much room do I want for my oxygen? Do I want it as compact as possible, or do I want to allow a little bit of room? You know what I'm thinking? Maybe I put like oxygen storage directly above it with just a bunch of tanks. If that's the case, I want it as compact as possible. That's how big it's going to be. That's what she said. And then something like that. All right, that's the oxygen room. Once I build this thing, it's going to be hard to adjust later on. I mean, it's going to take time if I want to adjust it later on. And that means I'll go without oxygen. Speaking of, how's my algae? Okay, algae's okay, but we should probably dig some more up just in preparation. But I can't run these things all the time. I only want them to run when there's a certain amount of pressure. Man, choosing... It's not a good idea to start designing a system in the middle of an episode. I should be prepared for this. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to move this up one tile, like that. And then we'll have Atmos sensors like that. It's not even, but whatever. Then we go electrolyzer, bam, 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 bam. Wait. I'm not doing 6, I'm doing 4. What the heck is wrong with me? Do I need this many pumps then? Whatever, it's fine. And this is not mesh tile. What am I doing? All right, we've got it. We got to kind of think of where our pipes are going to run to. So I'm going to bring the water in from this guy I mean, right here would be ideal. I would kind of want a bridge here, that way any water that does get to this point doesn't like start to go back up into these. Not that it should ever matter. I should have just an infinite amount of piping here. One thing, or I should have unlimited water. I shouldn't have to worry about it. One thing I didn't plan for is the sieve. So the sieve's gonna have to like go up here or something. So, and then we have to think of our cooling line as well. Where's our cooling line gonna go? And I'm thinking just right here. Right there is gonna be the cooling line. We could even run it back down through the bottom, like a second way, but I don't think we'll need to. All right, so we've got our basic oxygen system set up here. Let me run the power wires. Hold on here. One thing I didn't think about is how much power are we actually using? Yeah, one conductive wire should be able to run all this. Now, what about the oxygen storage gas reservoirs? So how many can we fit in here? Ugh, it's not even. Ugh, I don't like it. It's not even at all. You know what we should do? I have a better idea, maybe. I have a better idea. Genius idea. I just got a genius idea. Wait till you guys see this. Yeah. We're gonna store our water in the same area as our gas reservoirs. Perfect. One thing we're gonna have to do is actually vacuum this out. So I'm gonna have probably 2 layers of this. So we'll have 4 gas reservoirs full of oxygen, and then 4 liquid reservoirs, or maybe we can stick something else over here. I don't know. You know what I'm thinking now? We don't actually need this many pumps. Normally I do this because I'm not storing my oxygen in anywhere. So I have 3 lines that can go to 3 separate areas, but because I'm going to be storing the oxygen, you know what we could actually do here as well? I think I'm going to set up more storage even. Maybe this area in the middle doesn't even need to be here. This is why you have these designs pre-planned going into this. That way all these things you have tested and debugged and you already know if you should do them or not. But no, I need it done. So whatever, who cares? It's here, we're doing it now. Nothing we can do about that. Okay. Do I want the polluted water to go first? No, I want the water in here to be pumped in first, and then the polluted water. So the polluted water is not going to be moving through this line, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, because the polluted water will probably never run out, and then this geyser will never get used. So definitely want to use this water first. All right, so this tank is not going to be there. I'm going to be moving that. So we're going to be coming over here. And I'm building all of these floors out of mesh tiles because I'm not sure if I'm going to like pump hydrogen into this room later on, which I might do. Definitely considering that. All right, oxygen production is on the way. This is kind of the last. I'm trying to think what else I need, and this is kind of the last system I need before I can actually be like sustained, you know, and not have to worry about anything anymore. So yeah, once I have this system up and running and everything's taken care of, algae's still good, then I can focus on rockets, I think. Obviously we're gonna have to get Sleetwee going for our astronaut because he's gonna need really high morale. You know what, on second thought, maybe I'll leave this dirt cooker system here, and because it all depends on how it runs now, because before it wasn't running very well because I had so much pressure in here, so all the dirt was getting deleted. So it wasn't generating me any dirt. Like look at, when did I set this up? Like cycle 300 or something, and I only have 892 grams in this one and 29 grams in that. That's nothing, and that's over the cycle, like 200, 300 cycles. So yeah, there was definitely a problem with the system, and I didn't really notice it sooner because I'm not using dirt, so it never became an issue. I may leave this system up and running, and then we'll set up a second system, a new system, once the patch drops with the conveyor changes for the dirt cooker version 2. Because it doesn't, I mean, I want to be going through this polluted water anyway, and yeah, we're going to be sending some of it to the oxygen production, but we also want to be able to run these refineries, which that's what the polluted water is doing. So instead of kind of redoing all this system, we'll just leave this one here. It'll generate a little bit of dirt for us. Also, you know, give us our water from the polluted water, and then we'll keep our cooling loop, obviously, and then we'll set up a second system somewhere else for the new dirt cooker. So I guess the question for next episode is going to be rockets or jet suits or maybe petroleum factory. There's a lot of different ways we can go. I do kind of want to get into rockets though, so I think that's probably the direction I'll head. All right, it is cycle 560, and this is the basic layout for the oxygen production that I've got going. I kind of forgot I was recording for a second, and I was just really focused and intent on getting this done, so I didn't say anything for like the last 2 cycles or whatever. But yeah, this is the system. This is the general layout for the room. Now, these 6 pumps I've got all connected to one line, which is kind of okay. I mean, it's going to be backed up a lot of the time, but that's fine as long as I have 4 tanks of storage. So what I think I'm going to decide to do here is I forgot about the hydrogen, but I'm probably going to store 2 tanks worth of hydrogen and then 6 worth of oxygen, or I might do 4 worth of hydrogen and 4 worth of oxygen, but I'd rather have more oxygen, I think. The problem is I'm not using the hydrogen for anything, and that has to be alleviated somehow. So I have to set up some sort of, I guess, power system for the hydrogen to dump the hydrogen into, or I just set up a lot more storage for it. Maybe above this area even, I could set up just more, but I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this episode. Oxygen production pretty much done, just waiting for it all to finish. Then we're going to have to like vacuum out this room. And this room, we're going to have to connect the line to... Looks like I've already ran it. Oh yeah, that was from this hydrogen, I remember. So I've already got a ventilation line ran, although it is made out of regular pipe. So I should probably upgrade that to insulated. That way my oxygen doesn't heat up in this hot area before it gets to my base. And then we're good to go, man. Then we can start working on rockets. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions, suggestions, anything like that, put them in that comment section below. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, because hey, why not? You know, all you have to do is just move your mouse to that red button and just click, use your left finger there right on the clicker. It's easy. Anybody could do it. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.